Masheba Webb Show. Masheba Webb Show. Everybody out here, come and sing with me. Masheba Webb Show. Masheba Webb Show.
The Masheba Webb Show. Sit back, relax, just chill, tune in. Sit back, relax, just chill, tune in. It's the Masheba.
Masheba Webb Show. Masheba Webb Show. The Masheba Webb.
And we are back for another Friday edition of the Masheba Webb Show. And I am your hostess, Masheba Webb. And we have made it to another Friday, my
Yes,
goodness.
we have.
Y'all already know. Listen, we have a 2-hour edition today. This is going to be hot, y'all, and very, very interesting. The way I have it set up is amazing. So listen, y'all know how I do it. To my left, I got my girl, my pal, my buddy, Miss Andrea Wiley in the building. How you doing, Pooh?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Feel like I'm a little wiped out, but I'm all right.
I think it's that kind of day.
I guess so.
I got
guess
rest,
so.
but I still feel low.
Okay. All right. And then to your left, who do we have?
We have the one and only
Miss Barbara Banks. Hey, y'all know it's BB, and you don't mess with her. My Barbara Bankston. How you doing, Miss BB?
I'm doing wonderful.
You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything interesting happened today?
I did a field trip Friday, so I spent the day at the beach. So I'm probably sluggish from the sun.
And you got a suntan too, a little bit, huh?
Yes, I'm
It's
excited about that brown melon.
Brown skin. Okay. That's how India Ira said it. Okay. All right. You guys, you know, we always have Mr. Robert Jackson, but he is where we should be right now, sitting in a field waiting on Tank to come on stage and sing. Oh my
Is
God.
it too late?
Man, I don't even know.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow. Because we were going to
Don't
do
play with us,
Friday and
man.
Saturday.
you
Today's
know what?
Friday.
We're
I'm
going to talk
see
about
my
it.
house tomorrow, so I don't think.
Ooh.
Well, I guess we could.
Wait. So listen, to my right, I got my other girl, my other buddy, my other pal, Miss Paula Wiley. She's back, y'all.
Welcome
She
to
been
the
gone.
Masheba Webb Show. Yeah,
She been playing hooky.
I'm so glad to be back. It was
glad to
sickness,
have you.
but God is good.
He is.
Yes, he is.
Then to your right, we have the one, okay, the only songstress, songbird, okay, in the building, Miss Lydia Campbell, everybody. Welcome to the Masheba Show. Miss Lydia. How are you? You got to bring that mic on to you, baby. We can't hear you. Bring it on up. Bring it on up. Yes, moving on past. Yes.
Hey, everybody.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. And I want you to look
Yes.
at this. This is your camera right here. Yep. So, Miss Lydia, how are you feeling today, baby girl?
Doing pretty good.
You doing? You sounding good. You looking good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good day. All right. So I'm going to play this first song. Y'all know how I do on the Masheba Webb Show, the relationship song. It has to be every single show. We're gonna start this off, and his name is King George. And when we get back, I'm going to introduce our special guest on the line. Right when we get back. Are you ready, Mr. Miles? All right. He said he can't stay too long, okay? He got to keep moving because his girl is waiting right here on the Masheba Webb Show. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh yeah, don't that sound good? Well, this song goes out to anybody that got somebody they might want to hold on to, somebody that they go home to at night. See, that's what I call a good thing. And I got me a good thing too, and you see, I don't want to lose it. Listen, I used to hang out every night, running round in the clubs. Yeah, I thought I had everything. I thought I never needed love. That's when God sent an angel straight down from up above. She came and swept me off my feet, showed me the meaning of true love. Now my friends, yeah, they ask me why I don't hang But I found me a good thing, and I don't care what they say. Tell them when I get time I might come through, but I can't come through to stay. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be foolish. Got a good thing going on, and I ain't tryna lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. See my girl, she at the house. I know that she waiting on me with a big smile on her face, yeah. Looking real good, smelling real nice and sweet. She know I'm out on the road, doing my music thing. She know the temptation comes. She know I'm only just a man. But see, I try to make the right decisions. Some women have their own intentions. And you will be surprised what some people might do when they really want your attention. But I found me a good thing, won't let that get in my way. Tell them when I get time I might come through, but I can't come through to stay. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled. Got a good thing going on. I got a good thing. And I ain't tryna lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled. Got a good thing going on. I got a good thing. And I ain't tryna lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. Wave your hand if you know you got a good thing. Somebody feel like me. Somebody got a good thing. Oh yeah. Real good thing. She don't have to worry. She don't have to worry.
She don't have to worry. That was none other than King George with Can't Stay Too Long, y'all.
You can't.
So you can't. You gotta keep moving. So right now I'm going to present to some and introduce to others none other than our special guest, Mr. Relationship Guru, Ken Canyon. Coach Ken Canyon. Ken, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm trying to figure out how I can put this on my page for all the people that want to
Go to your
tune into the
notifications. I
Masheba
tagged
Webb.
you.
I just went to it. I don't see
Did
it.
you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right here now. But I believe you did it.
I
I may be
did.
a little
It's
challenged.
confusing sometimes, but it's gonna be all right. When I play the next song, we'll get it together, okay?
All right, we'll get it together.
Yes,
I'm
we're
glad to
gonna
be
get
here.
it
Thank
together.
you.
Yes. So listen, Ken, tell everybody who is Ken Canyon.
Ken Canyon is a personal development and relationship coach who help people navigate the complexities of modern day relationships
'Cause
so
period.
that they can live a life of abundance.
Yes.
And that's who he is. I got a whole bunch of stuff I've done, but none of that's really important. The only thing that's important right now is that, number one, I'm here. Number two, that people need to understand, like I only have two goals. One is to put relationships together. Two is to keep them together.
Period.
And so
Amen.
that's who I am.
Wow, that's enough.
That's what the people need.
Yes. So instead of doing a topic this time, I decided to do actually what attracted me to your page. So I went through your page, I went through your videos, and I'm going to ask you questions because everything that I have down are I mean, just our pages of life. Okay, so I would love for you to answer these questions for us. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm
So, how do you date or even get to date? I'm sorry. How do you date or even get to marriage with an alpha female?
Oh, snap. I mean, because I just did that video today, obviously you saw.
Yes, sir.
So here's the thing. I get, and so there are two sides to this coin now. So this whole term alpha female boils down to this. See, every single person has what we call masculine energy and feminine energy.
Yes.
I don't want to go into what it is and what they do, but traditionally we've been brought up that men have more masculine energy, the way they were raised, taught, the way they've been conditioned to be.
Yes.
In our society, the way women have been conditioned to be more feminine energy, more feminine nature. I could go into what they are, but I don't want to take up the time for that. But here's the thing. But because those energies are imbalanced in a certain way, it's what we call polarity. Now you think about it, there would be no cold if there was no hot. Be no up if there was no down.
Right.
So this is called polarity in whatever we do. So whenever you see a couple, you normally see a masculine energy and a feminine energy. All right.
Yes.
And so what happens is that now, because we live in a masculine grid, meaning the workplace, everything we do is about ambition, drive. It is about getting it done, deadlines and all of that. And so many females who are ascending up that track have adopted more of this energy to be successful in the workplace, in the way that they do that. Now, that being said, is because they're not like your mama's mama. And so your mama's mama was more feminine, because more feminine energy, because of the things that the role maker, I always say instead of soul maker.
Right.
And so what happens is now, because they've adopted this energy to maneuver in this world. Now what happens is they have trouble balancing it when they come home. Okay. And so now they operate in this energy when they're even in a relationship.
Yeah.
Now that can be a problem, but some men that come to me say, look, how can I date a female like that? One of my clients came to me and I said, okay, if this is the type of woman you want to date, so let me explain to you what has to happen. Number one, you got to be about something. You got to be you got to be about your purpose. You got to do it on purpose. So anything you got to do, because that's going to attract her, about purpose. You ain't sitting around playing the video games all day. Okay.
Yes.
The second thing is, I was saying, the second thing is, do what you say you're going to do. If you say that I'm going to be here at 9, I'm going to pay the bills on this day, you got to do that.
Yes.
Because her personality and the way she moves that's more of attraction to her rather than a repellent. But if you're on the other side, it's a repellent.
Yes.
And so I began to go through the list with the guy. And one of the things that I tell him, that I said, another thing that might seem counterintuitive that you must do is you got to be willing to stand up to her too. You got to be willing. She needs somebody with the backbone. She needs somebody to say, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that.
Ken, Ken, does everybody at this table agree with what he just said?
Yes.
Yeah, don't nobody want no punk.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Go ahead, Ken.
No pushover either.
No pushover. Please don't be a pushover.
So, and so, there were some other things that I told him, but the thing that I wanted him to understand is that just remember this, because she operates in the masculine energy, which we call it, AKA alpha. That's what we call it. But it's more masculine energy. Now, what I'm saying to you is this: you got to be okay with that, and you got to be okay with who you are too.
Right.
And you can't be taking up all her time. It can't be a situation where you have to be her whole world. You got to be a part of the world.
Right.
But you can't be the whole world. And so when you come in, that's why you have to have your own things going on.
Exactly.
And so when I explained it to him, he was like, oh, that's smart. I said, well, if that's not who you are at your core, then you may not be compatible. Your core values might not be compatible.
Yeah, leave her alone.
That was good stuff.
That was top of the notch
That was
stuff
top
right
notch,
there.
right? That was top
Can I ask
tier.
one
Okay, go ahead, darling. Anybody have questions you can
term
ask?
alpha, and I understand you mentioned like what the term means or whatever, but where did it actually come from? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Where does the term come from?
The term?
Yes, the term.
Well, see, it's just like, what they did was, people describe personality types. And so it was a good way to describe personality type, alpha, beta. And it was just more of a person who acted in a certain manner.
Okay.
Who I always say it's not about what you do, it's about who you are, how you are.
Yeah.
And so that term alpha just simply means the behavior and the way the person moves throughout the world.
Right. They move in confidence and a superiority. So, does anybody else have?
That ain't always good even. Now, let's just keep this real.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, be clear.
Let's be clear. It's not always good.
Right.
No.
Okay. Just because when I did the video, most of the videos that I put up come from clients that I have or things I've experienced or coach people on.
Yes.
And so when he came to me and I explained to him, I said, listen, everything that you want to do, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to move and navigate through it. However, it may not be in alignment with your core values.
Exactly.
Just because she is attractive, just because he is attractive, they may not be in alignment with your core values. And the thing that we get twisted, the reason I've been so great at what I do is because I tell people your emotions don't have a good track record in relationships.
Period.
And I said, we rely on our emotions so much.
That's good.
And listen, because I'm from the South. I grew up in a Pentecostal Kojic church, right?
Oh my God.
And I did a video one day that rubbed some people the wrong way, but it's true. I said, we got the worst advice in the world right in my church, right in the Southern church. Because we always tell people things like this. We tell them you date to marry.
Right.
Now, some of you might have heard that.
Yes.
Or for potential. I'm getting to it, y'all.
And-
I'm getting to it.
That advice is the dumbest advice
It
in the
is.
world. But the reason they gave it to us was because they didn't want you going around, sleeping around, having sex. They believed in that word, right?
Right,
And
right.
so they figured if I tell you date to marry someone, then it would avoid the other sinful nature that went with it. The
Yes.
problem with that is that led to over 50% divorce rate that we have now because what you didn't get to know the person. You relied on your emotions. And
Right.
what happens is you said, they made me
My
feel
God.
good. Ooh, he made my liver quiver. And so he must be the one for me.
No.
Oh my God, kid, you got me over here tripping, okay? Because this is turning out exactly like I knew it would. My God, listen, I got the next question. How can you find our love language? How can a man, help the couple that they don't know what their love language is? How can we locate that?
So number one, and that's a very good question. I didn't know my love language. I read the book, The 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
I think it's a great book. I think people use that book because it sounds good. It sounds great in terminologies. I know love languages. The problem is in practicality, we don't use it. And so they have a test, and I think their test is fantastic, that goes through how you feel when you are most loved, right? And I realized that my love language was words of affirmation. And I realized that long time ago. But here's the thing that happened. I used to think that if you bought gifts, that would show your love until I read the book. And so because I didn't know what it was. But what happens is most people may not know their love language but they know. I always tell them, when do you feel the most love? Let's put it on a primal level.
Yeah.
And then a female may say, I love when we spending time together. So more than likely, quality time is your love language. And I said, well, let me ask you this. What's his love language? I just want to spend quality time. I'm going to give him quality time just like he gives me. I said, well, wait a minute. You was like, and then he gets upset when I don't do little things for him. Like he wants her to do things. Could you go pick up the kids? Could you go to the grocery store? So he likes acts of service, but you're thinking quality time is his love language. And
That's
because
what
it's
you
your
said,
love
Barbara.
language, you give it to him. And then what happens is he doesn't feel loved because you've never spoken in the language that he
His
wants.
language.
So if his language is acts of service, give the language, speak the language that makes him feel loved. Just like, and I realized that with my own wife, what it was her love language. And so I know every day, I know her words of affirmation. So I tell her, girl, you look good. Your nails done. I mean, that new dress. I mean, because that's her love language.
Yeah.
I want to add something to that.
Go ahead.
Because I want to say that it's important that that usually is work, because you have to learn how and practice, put into practicality of speaking their love language, because you're used to speaking what you're used to, like what you want to receive. That comes natural, and it's a little harder. You have to be more intentional about giving your partner what they need, not what you want to give them. And so I think that's usually a breakdown, is because what we want or what we need and desire comes natural, and what they need does not. And so you have to be just a little more intentional about giving them what they need, identifying it, and being intentional about giving it to them.
Give that hand clap. That is good stuff right there.
That's right.
She's absolutely correct.
Yes, Mrs. Barbara.
You have to be intentional about that.
She is our love relationship guru on the show. So I thought it's like what is it?
Collaboration.
The collaboration. That's what I'll use that. The collaboration would be wonderful because she is amazing. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Now, I'm going to flip it now. Can your love language kill your relationship, and how?
Well, absolutely. Your love. And I use that headline because what happens the way it kills your relationship is because you get fixated on your love language. And everything that you do, even though the other party may be giving you your love language, but what happens is you are fixated that because you receive love like that, just like Miss Barbara just said, because you receive love like that, you are unwilling to, number one, be intentional about finding out what the other person's love language is. And number two, being intentional about giving that love language at every chance that you can.
Yes.
And so when you do that, here's what happens though when you don't do it. When the other person is giving you your love language, right? And you don't consciously give them theirs, there is a seed of resentment that is formed inside of you.
Yes.
And this seed of resentment actually grows the more they don't receive it. The more they don't receive it. The more I give it and don't receive it, this seed of resentment grows. And the seed of resentment grows into something. Every seed planted grows into something. You just don't know what the seed's going to grow into. Maybe it's anger, frustration, withdrawal. Maybe it's I'm seeking out the things that I need from another person. But those seeds grow.
Wow. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff right there. Listen, I got a lot, and I'm trying to get to all of it. Okay, so we're going to keep this steady. Miss Andrea, you want to give them the call-in number, because your family and friends, if they want to call in and say something, or if you want to talk to Coach Ken, you can call in, or Dr. Barbara, you can call that number at...
That's 313 266 2811.
One more time.
That's 313-266-2811.
All right. Okay, so, Mr. Ken, how can we tell if our man has feelings for someone else?
See, you've been through all my videos, haven't you? Yeah. And so what I want to do, I want to add to some of that stuff, because TikTok only gives me 3 minutes. There are a lot of different ways to know, but one of the primary ways to know that your man or your woman is interested in someone else is the withdrawal of intimacy. Right. And see, what happens with people is they think intimacy is sex. And I say, oh, no. I say intimacy can be a part of sex, but it doesn't have to be. Right. So what intimacy is, I break it down to into me, I see. And what it is you're allowing the person to look inside you. And the way you let a person look inside you is with conversation, with
Yes.
questions about your fears, your desires,
Yes.
all of those things. And when you put up the block, when we were intimate at first, but it's no longer intimate, there is a reason for that.
Wow.
There is a reason. So I always say, if that person is interested in someone else, that could be a reason. That's the first thing. Second thing is this: routine. When the routine changes, there is, especially men, women too though, but especially men. Whenever their routine changes, something has acted upon that routine. I always say, because here's why. I break this down to all of my clients in my seminars. I do this. I say, listen, it's not because we're just routine. It's because of the way our brain works. See, your brain is so powerful. Think about it as the brain, people don't know this. Your brain burns more calories than any other organ in your body, right? Because your brain has to control everything. Central nervous system, musculoskeletal system, cardiovascular system. But what the brain wants to do is it wants to operate on autopilot. Okay? That's why the brain doesn't want you to think when you're doing routine things.
Wow.
Because I don't have to expend more energy. That's why we want to do that. So everybody's brain is the same way. Don't you drive the same way to work every day? You got a routine. You get up, you pray. Whatever it is you do, it's because your brain has been conditioned to do it. Now, watch this. Whenever you change the routine, your brain is involved. That means you literally had to change your behavior. Something acted upon that. Something had to act upon that.
Wow.
All right. You just don't change a routine just because. All right, that's a conscious thing. The third thing is appearance. Now I know a lot of time, you ran around. I was telling a dude that I'm coaching. I'm saying, listen, she was wearing around sweats and everything, and hair wasn't done and all of that. Now all of a sudden, it doesn't mean that they're cheating, but now she want to get dolled up. So why though? I mean, I'm just
Something
y'all.
happened.
All I'm doing is putting the signs out there. I'm not.
I get it.
Somebody was affirming her.
Somebody was affirming it. Okay. Period. I get it. That's good stuff. Okay.
So I want to dig back layers on
Come
that.
on, let's dig
so
them
what
back.
do you do? What is your suggestion when you? Because I know it's easier when you're just in a relationship, right? Before someone gets into a marriage, right? It gets a little more sticky and complicated when people are in marriage and we talk to married folks opposed to talking to dating folks, right?
Right.
Because you can walk away from a dating situation, but you can't just throw in the towel like that in a marriage situation. So how do you suggest the handling of such situations?
The handling of what situation?
Like if you find yourself in a situation where your significant other, your husband, your wife, and you see the change, how do you usually steer couples in that space?
Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you for asking it. Number one, it all starts with conversation. But if you never talk, if you're never intimate, then those conversations will seem out of the norm. And so now when a person brings that up, that it will seem uncomfortable because they brought up something that is not normal, right? And so what I do is, first off, it's about being conscious of everything that's going on around you, being conscious of the relationship, being conscious of everything.
Yes.
And so there is something about the relationship that is off kilter. And when people come to me and they say, hey, my spouse is acting this way. And I say, well, what's different? Tell me what's different from 6 months ago or 7 months ago. And then they say, here's what they're doing. And then I say this. Okay, now what I tell them to do is something that they've never done. I said, now let's put together a blueprint for intimacy.
Yeah.
Now think about what I just said. Now, first off, if you believe this person is cheating on you, or they might be seeing someone else, but before anything ever happens in the physical realm, it took place in the mental realm.
Mental.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
Dr. Barbara said.
Yeah, I always say before anybody ever cheats on somebody,
They've
they
already
thought
done it.
about it beforehand.
And
Exactly.
Dr. Barbara said, I would rather have my man have sex with somebody than be emotionally attached to someone. So I agree and I concur on that. So go ahead, and you had anything else to?
I have a question.
I have
go,
another question, but go ahead.
go ahead, Miss Andrea.
Can your love language change?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you evolve and you change, your love language changes. Think about the things that you change. You think about when you were 20, it was different than when you were 30. I mean, I know you're 35 now, but I mean, it was different then.
Right.
But, so to answer your question, absolutely, it can change.
Wow. Okay, now Miss Barbara, go ahead.
So I just recently did a book, and it was on unmasking, and I had a man. So I want your perspective on this. I didn't dissect this in my book, and so I was like, he took my breath away. Actually, he said, and so this is a question that I would love for us to unwrap in this moment. Is he said, it's called Unmasking: A Journey to Wholeness. So it's all about unmasking your authenticity, your true self, getting to the next version, right? And so he said, did you unmask loneliness inside of a marriage? And so I said, no. And so he was like, I'm just so lonely and I'm married and I don't know how to come from this place. So and this was a man, so this wasn't a woman.
Wow.
Usually, that's a language of a
Right.
woman,
Yes.
right? So men usually aren't that vulnerable where they're going to share that. So he was, especially not with another woman, but he was just very much, unless he's trying to get down, but he was very... So I would love for us, even at the table, just all of us to kind of unwrap that space, because I know a lot of couples, you're married and sometimes you're in that, you're married, after you're married for years, of course you have to do something to keep the energy, the love, the fire burning. But when you're lonely and you're married, you just are coming home. What is it?
So let me speak to that. I'm in a marriage, and a lot of the times I feel lonely. It's a slow process for me to get back to where we were, or get back to a happy place, simply because I've been alone so long in this relationship. And now I'm doing everything on my own and literally don't even want the help that I once thought I needed. Is someone calling in? Thought I needed. I just don't need the same things. When I, got married to him, I was broken, and I believe he was in a broken place. And then I got healed, and then he stayed broken, or either he just never grew. You know what I mean? He just stayed complacent the whole time. But now, marriage is a choice. Even after all of the turmoil, it's a choice, and I'm still there. But I'm taking it slow at a snail's pace to get back to where I was. I do see changes in him, but I've been alone for so long. Like, I feel like I'm literally married to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally feel like I'm married to myself. Like, I have no covering. I have no, I don't feel it at all. And I just got comfortable with that and accepted the fact that I don't have anything. I mean, not as of yet. It has to be worked on, and it's working. But when you have trust issues, and then you have other issues, and one pile on top of the other, it makes it complex. It complicates things, and when it get complicated, and I'm willing to help him get through, because that's what I needed and I didn't get, and I know that's what most people usually need, is someone to help them get through. But yeah, being lonely in a relationship, that's the worst. Like, that's the worst. That's the worst. Like, sitting up watching TV by myself, going out to eat by myself. I'll go to the movies by myself or hang out with my girls or something like that. But being lonely in a relationship is the devil. Okay? That's my comment.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Are you indifferent about the relationship now?
I was actually had made up my mind to leave, and I was that's a whole nother situation. I thought I had a house, but I don't have a house, so I felt like I was trapped, like I had to stay. And I actually said that to him, but I'm just trying to breathe. That's where I'm that's really for real. That's where I'm at. I'm just trying to breathe and not lose it on anyone, on him. I don't want to argue with him anymore. I don't want to, like, that high pitched voice that you men get when you get frustrated. I can't do that no more. It's a lot of things, like I can't do it no more. And then when he was sleeping, I wanted to punch him in his face while he was sleeping. I'm like, I don't know what this even is. Like, I don't even know what this is. I'm just being honest. So instead of being angry, I digressed. I took all the anger back. I threw it on the altar. I gave it to God. I left it there. I'm not angry anymore. What I am is evolved. Okay?
Are you indifferent? I asked that for a reason.
Do I want to leave?
No. Listen to the question. I didn't ask you if you wanted to leave. I said, are you indifferent about the relationship? If the relationship succeeds, I'm okay. If it doesn't, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
are you indifferent?
I am. I feel like that. That's how I feel.
That's
You know.
That's a tough place to be because that is the place that you get to before the relationship is over.
Ends. And I know that. Okay. I know that. And trying, my frustration is trying to explain myself, and I never get past the whiny part of him always making excuses about whatever it is that we're talking about. I only get excuses. Well, it's just like nobody ever takes responsibility he doesn't take responsibility for anything he did. Not even when I left to heal and he had his ex in my house for 2 days. But you didn't sleep with her. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's stuff that does not make sense. 2 and 2, 1 and 1 makes 2. Like, if it walk, talk, and act like a duck to me, it's probably a duck. I just, like, I'm so far out until it's not funny. But in being out, see, the old Masheba would have had 2-3 niggas on the side right now. Like, and that's real. But I have.
That's real talk.
You feel me? Like, the old Masheba would have been, probably on a plane to go somewhere, but that ain't what I want. It's not a man
I understand that.
Like, I want my husband. I wanted my husband. I wanted him to come around. I wanted him to be able to enjoy all the things that I'm doing and the fruits of all the work that I'm putting in. And it's just like I felt like he didn't like me, and I felt like I was moving towards hatred towards him. And when I felt the hatred, I'm like, I can't even deal with hatred. I can't even do that. I can't go there.
True.
So I just pulled back and said, you know what? Bump it. I got to get a job. I'm going to get a job. Boom. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a caterer. I'm doing it. And this is my season. So all my jobs, I'm doing it, and I'm working full time, and one thing I discovered from that is I don't need anybody. I could take care of myself.
You can. Call the doctor when this is over.
Okay, I'll call you. I will.
All right?
All right.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to our next question. First of all, does anybody else sitting at the table, since I made my little paragraph, anybody got anything they want to add to? What about you, Miss Campbell, down there? You've been mighty quiet over there. I'm going to have to call you up to sing a solo for the Church of God in Christ Sunshine Band today. Okay. Coach Ken, what are some common lies that men tell women?
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, Jesus.
What are some?
Oh, snap.
My God.
Mr. Ken, I'm in your backyard. Okay, I've been all in there digging. All
Yeah.
this good
Yeah,
juicy
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
And what you just seen, you didn't see that.
No. Like, so some of the common lies, I just thinking about some of the common lies that men say.
What me?
Things like, I don't deserve you. If a man says, like, I don't deserve you, and then he's still trying to get what you, trying to hit, trying to smash. And I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So, because if you don't deserve me, yet you still trying to get with me, what it is I don't deserve the accountability that goes with what you want. in this relationship, so I'm not gonna give you that. I'm gonna just tell you that I don't deserve that. You know, that's one of the lies men tell. Another one is they say, "Oh, it's not you, it's
me."
You know, it's not you, it's me. I told that lie.
I just need some time, baby. Come on with it. What's the third one, Mr. Ken?
Another lie that men tell is about their relationship status. You know, and this is a big one. Listen, stop it. I want to cuss, but I ain't gonna cuss. But anyway, listen to this. I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna cuss. But I'm gonna say this. You've seen some of my videos.
I did.
But I will say this. When a man say, okay, listen to me carefully. Okay. I must say this. I like Masheba just, came clean. I must come clean. I put on all my videos. I tell everybody, listen, the men that I talk about, I was him. I was slipping and dipping, slicking and whatever. I told every lie there was before I got married. Now, not since I've been married, not at all, not once. But before I got married, I told every lie. I done had enough sex for 3 lifetimes. And I always tell people, I was a man of no integrity. I said I was a man of no integrity, but this is the part I want y'all to know. Men can change.
Yes,
People can change.
Yes, they can.
And I said, when my purpose became more important than, that other word I was going to use, that would be more important than that. And I said, I will no longer live like this.
Yeah.
I won't live like this. I won't be that man. I won't be a man of no integrity. And so there is no woman. That's why I can do this work. There is no woman that will ever come forward and say I hit them. There won't be another woman that comes forward and tell my wife that she had sex with me. It won't happen. And so, because y'all know women are tell. And so, listen, I've been married 20 years. And then I got completely faithful and didn't touch another woman for 5 years before that. So it's 25 years I've touched one woman. And I'm going to tell you something. I do the work that I do. You got a lot of haters, trollers. I don't really care about that. Because you ain't going to never say, you can't ever say that I did something to you. Now, you might say you don't like me. I don't care about that. But you ain't going to never say my integrity is in question. You won't say that I owe you money. You won't say, people might not like me. Okay, but they won't ever say that I did something that was lack of integrity. Okay, so when I talk about what men say, when I talk about it, like, I got guys, but then it's funny because then I got women hate on me when I talk about women, and then I got guys hate on me when I talk about guys. So I must be in the right place.
Yeah, you at the right place, in the right place, at the right time. And listen, I'm getting ready to throw out a commercial break real quick in here, and I'm going to come back with some fiery fire, okay? We're right back after these messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to Dr. E. LaQuint Weaver II and the Hallelujah Singers celebrate their 42nd anniversary, Sunday, September 4th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Location at the Leland Missionary Baptist Church, 22420 Finkel Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Reverend Frank J. Knowlton Sr., pastor, featuring Kevin Stewart Jr., Larry Callahan and the Selected of God, Eric Pitts, the Untouchable Trumpetlettes, Andre Speed and Company. Special guest, Minister Kevin Lemons and Higher Calling from Atlanta, Georgia. MC Evangelist Staffy Blakely. Tickets available now online at netpix.com. That's NEPTIX.com. VIP seating $40. General admission $25. No tickets sold at the door. Doors open at 4:30 p.m. Masks and temperature checks are required at the door. See you there.
Fisher Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Michael J. Fisher, owner and manager. A family-owned business since 1955, serving Detroit and metro areas. We offer a wide selection of urns and jewelry with cremation and burials tailored to fit any budget. Serving all faiths, creeds, and races with dignity and respect. Insurance assignments, DHS, cash and or credit cards are accepted. Pre-planning also available. While you visit, park in our large secure lighted parking lot. Fisher Funeral Home and Cremation Services is located at 24501 5 Mile Road, Redford Township, Michigan 48239. Call us today at 313-535-3030. That's 313-535-3030. Or meet us on the web at www.fisherfuneralhome.net. Fisher Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Compassionate and courteous service in your family's time of need. Michael J. Fisher, owner and manager.
Man, I'm hungry as.
Shut your mouth. Hungry?
Man, I'm hungry as.
Don't you go there. You know what? How hungry are you?
Hungry enough to eat a local grocery store.
To eat a whole local grocery store?
And if you haven't experienced Lafayette Foods, then you are missing out. Go down to 1565 East Lafayette Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48207 for good foods and better service.
And ask about their sweet potato pie. Let them know Angie sent you.
Is that right?
That's right. They have some of the best sweet potato pie over there in the historic Lafayette Park District.
It ain't better than Patty Pie.
You know what, Patty?
It depends on who sponsors us the best. They can be reached at 313-396-5600.
Or you can find them on their website at www.lafayettefoods.com.
Located in the historic Lafayette Park District, downtown Detroit. They on Facebook,
Lafayette Foods.
They on Instagram,
at Lafayette Foods.
I'm about to go eat at
Lafayette Foods.
Make sure you follow artist Buka G on all social media platforms.
Man, they make sure that Lafayette Foods sticks in your brain, okay?
Yes.
I want to see what that pie is.
I need to go to Lafayette Foods to see what's up because they got me curious. Mr. Ken, are you still there?
I am still here.
All right, sir. The call-in number is 313-266-2811. That's 313-266-2811. Listen, Mr. Ken, I got a question. It's a twofold. How do you know that a man is emotionally unavailable? And how do you know that the woman is emotionally unavailable? Because they should, to me, they're going to look totally different. But how do you know?
Number one, one way that you know a man is emotionally unavailable is because he doesn't want to talk about what we call future pacing. Future pacing is when you can see when you begin expounding on seeing someone in your future, and you talk about the future as though it's the present.
Yes.
Whenever a man does not want to talk about the future, he's probably emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
All right. The second way, one of the second ways that you know is that, and y'all, this is how, like, I've been doing this work a long time. But this is the video that went viral. When I said, if a man says, I don't have time, what does that mean? So I always say, and so this is how you know he's emotionally unavailable. Because when a man says, I don't have time, what he's really saying is, I don't have time I don't value you enough to prioritize you in the time that I have.
You in that time. My God.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, because think about it like this, y'all. Anything that we value, we make time for it.
Yes, you will.
People say, like one guy got mad at me. He said, man, that blank don't make sense. He said, I got a business. He said, I got a business, I got children. And I said, yes, you value your business, you value your children. And I said, and you make time for them.
Yeah.
I said, if he's not think about it like this, a man trades his time for the things that he values.
Yes.
If he's not trading his time for you, he does not value you like that.
Not at all.
Okay. Now, and to take it a step further, to know he's emotionally unavailable, he trades his time, his money, his resources, and his talents.
Wow.
If he's not trading any of that for you, then he does not value you.
Man.
And so, thus, he's going to be somewhat emotionally unavailable, depending on what his goal is. Now, he'll give you some emotions, but you won't get real close.
See, Kim Burrell put it best. It's just like when we spend time with Jesus. She said, I give you my heart, my mind, my soul, my praise, and my money. Okay? That's we going to give all that to God. And we shouldn't have anything less in a relationship if there's real love.
Right.
Now, how can we identify when the woman is emotionally unavailable? How can men identify?
I can
that?
look at you and let me tell you what it is. When they start going to the movies by themselves, when they start, it don't matter what I do. Okay, so all you gotta do is all you gotta do is repeat the soliloquy that you did earlier. That's what she said.
That's it.
What she said.
What I said.
What you said.
Okay.
That's exactly how you know.
So, Mr. Ken, what is the most manipulative strategy that men use and vice versa?
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was all in it. Go ahead.
So the most manipulative strategy that men use is love bombing. All right. It's a lot of manipulative strategies like gaslighting, some other strategies, but love bombing is one. Okay, so what happens to people is, this is how they rely on their emotions. So all of a sudden you meet a guy and he's texting you every morning. Hey, beautiful. Hey, love. How are you?
Y'all remember
Oh,
that
did you have
time.
lunch today? What did you have?
Nice.
Oh, your hair looks good. And your nails. Oh, my gosh. And then he begins to talk about the future. So now you just met this guy and y'all talking about the future.
Sucks you in 3 minutes.
Right.
No, he didn't.
And then he sucks you in. And so then he's getting whatever he wants. If it's sex, if it's a place to stay, if it's food, if it, whatever it is, money.
Period.
And so then he does what I call he minimum wages you after that. So now once you're emotionally connected, he begins minimum waging you. He starts taking away your pay. So he starts giving you just enough to keep you on the hook. Just enough calling. And then here's the psychological mumbo jumbo. The psychological stuff is you begin to think, what did I do? What happened? And so you think it's something wrong with you, and that's where the hook comes. That's when the hook get in your mouth, and they start reeling you in. Because the more you think it's something wrong with you, the more you want to do right. Then you do more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, and then you knee deep in it. Because I know a client right now. I got a great success record, but there's one
you do.
Who I don't want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it because it's gonna make me mad. So this is a happy thing. But anyway, when they don't do what I tell them to do, and whenever and y'all, I'm not like the dad that tells people, because I got a lot of successful clients because I deal with alpha females every day because they're a lot of them the only ones that can pay me. I ain't trying to be funny. But I ain't trying to be funny. But listen, y'all. But somebody but I'm not afraid of them. Like I always tell them, I don't need your money. I got money. Right. I said, what I need is your transformation. And so this particular one wouldn't listen to me. She coached for 7 months, changed her whole life. And then she started doing stuff. I said, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please. I'm telling you what this is. I'm telling you what this is love bombing. I'm telling you. She started relying on emotion. I said, please. Then she called me every day. Well, what I got to do, Ken? I'm like, and I I don't leave my clients. I stay with them.
Right.
And I'm like, now do what I tell you to do. Then she won't do it. She's like, it's him. I said, no, it's not. It's your ass. I said, you know why? Because he showed you what he was. And he showed you what he was. And you chose to look away.
Yes.
You chose to look away. Now, as far as women, the most manipulative thing, I won't say women do a lot of things. I won't say there is one that stands out, but there's a whole bunch of things that women do. Like they'll do, I call them how they test men. You got the jealousy test. And, they'll do little things to try to make you jealous. And then they got women do this thing called the uncomfortable test. Will you make yourself uncomfortable for me? Like, I'm cold. Would you give me your cold?
It's so true.
But women are just as manipulative. Let me say this too. There's just as many women out there creeping, getting smashed.
Yep.
And see and the reason why they're so good, I coach them. The reason why they're so good at it is because a man won't make his mind wrap his mind another man going in his woman. A man can't even think, he won't think about it. So the woman will be over there doing what you're doing. Hey, baby. And I'm like, they did a recent study. They said the study said how many 23% of men cheat, 19% of women cheat. So truth is, women out here getting it in too. They just better at it.
Absolutely. They are better at it.
They just better at it.
Like y'all.
They are. That's just the I believe the number's probably higher. Right?
Yeah, probably is.
Probably by a large margin, okay? So, Mr. Ken, what is a representative? Because somebody out there in radio and TV land don't know what a representative is. What is a representative?
And that's a good question. But the representative is the person you believe is acceptable to the person who's viewing it. Okay? The representative is the person you feel like the other person will accept, the other person will like, the other. And so the representative is the facade that you put on so that the other person, so that you will become more palatable to the other person. And so what I always say, the reason why that is the worst thing you can do is because a person needs to see who you truly are. Yeah. And I say, show them early. If you got quirks about you, you laugh out loud, or if you do this or that, show them who you are. I said, because what happens is you might find out that they like you. They might like you who you are. And what we find out, that's why a lot of marriages don't work. Because in the church, right, you saw the representative, but you never see the person. You know, I read an article about Will and Jada before all this stuff happened. I started reading it about when the situationship came out, right? When she actually embarrassed him the first time. And I found out that she told him that a year before that they had said, we've been married to each other's representative for all these years. She said that to him, and then she said all of the things that he tried to do for her, I think 40th, 50th birthday party, whatever it was, he did this big shindig, and she cried and said, you just did that for you. It was just ego and all of that. And she said that they realized, both of them, that they were married to the other person's representative all these years. And the reason why I have a great marriage now is because my wife accepts every part of me. I mean, because I'm loud, I'm controlling at times, but she knows who she's married to, because I've never, and she lets me be me. When she want to check me, she gonna check me, and vice versa. And so I just say, my thing is, stop sending your representative. I get putting your best foot forward. I get that. You know, if you want to look your best, you want to speak your best. I get that. But let them see who you are quickly. Exactly. So they can make a decision whether they like you quickly. And if they leave, they wasn't the one for you anyway. It's better than to leave now than 8 months from now when they find out who you really are.
See, you have to let people draw their own conclusion, whether they want to be with you or not. And that's just real. You have to be transparent no matter what you do. Now, listen, we are 1 hour into this interview. We got 1 more hour to go. Coach, are you going to hang in there with me?
Look, wherever y'all go, I'm going.
All right. So I have a song, and it's by Marcus Jordan, and it's entitled I Can. And this is dedicated to Coach Ken Canyon. Let's go right here on the Masheba Webb Show.
I can, I will, I will make it. Ooh. Make it. I can, I will make it. No matter what comes my way, with God's help I can do all things. He didn't promise me that it would be easy, but he promised never to leave me. He's right here by my side. Oh, the Lord, he's a very great guy. Anything I want and need, he will supply it for me. I can, ooh, I can. I will make it. Oh, make it.
myself I can do all things. He didn't promise me that he would be easy, but he promised never to leave me. He's right here by my side, and the Lord, he's a very great God. Anything I want and need, he will supply it for me. I can, I will. Oh, I know I can. I can do all things to Christ. I know I can, I know I will, yeah. I won't be discouraged, no. I'll hold my head up high. I know I can. You've never let me down. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, hold your head up. Remember that you can. You can. You may be going through a struggle right now, but hold on to the hands of the Lord. I believe and I know that the Lord will make a way for you some way, somehow. Don't you dare get weary in well-doing. In due season, you're gonna reap if you faint now. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man all that God has in store for you. To all you single mothers out there, let me tell you, single mothers, you gotta put your best foot forward and let God do the rest because he will. Yeah, you can, you will. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Yeah, you can, you will.
Ready? All right, that was Marcus Jordan with I Can, and that was dedicated to Coach Ken Canyon. Are you still there, sir?
I'm still here.
All right, all right.
I got a question for y'all.
Okay, come on with it then, sir.
Okay, so I do these events, right? Called Candid Conversations. I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I put this in my group. All right, I got a group of about 3,500 ladies.
Okay.
So here's the group. So let's say you met a guy that met all your, mental, sexual, financial needs, right? Emotional needs, but he only made $40,000 a year. Would you marry him?
I sop him up like a biscuit with syrup
Who said
and
that?
butter. And yes, if he could love me, it doesn't matter about the money because I'm trumping all money in my house right now. So all I wanted to do was be loved. But yeah, if this don't work out, absolutely, he can make $35,000 a year and be good.
Okay. What about everybody else?
Miss Barbara.
No.
She's not. She's bougie. Okay.
I'm
she's
not.
bougie.
But Barbara said, "Oh no."
No, and I'm going to say this because I did that.
Okay. So you want him to make 60 to 80 to 100?
No. And it probably will depend on what that 40,000 like is. That, are you happy there?
Oh, I ain't giving you no stipulations, no conditions. She want me to try to adjust. No.
I'm just saying, for me, it would have to be, is this your end all do all? Because, if that's all you think you ever can make, then that answer's no.
Like, has he made it to the top
because
of his pay
some
range?
people,
I don't know. All I know is what he's doing today.
Because I'm just saying, because that's your mentality. If your mentality is stuck at $40,000, that can't do anything.
So she said no. So what about you, Miss Andrea?
With that being said, and the mentality, I'm gonna have to say no.
What?
She's going to say no. Okay.
So you don't want no man making $35,000 a year, and he love you. He can meet your sexual needs, your physical needs, your spiritual needs. He's giving you
everything.
Affirmation.
But he can't take care of my house.
But it's a two. It's okay.
He might have his own house.
Right.
I said, if the 40,000 is the
microphone.
do all be all, because see, some people get stuck and they can't get past there, and that's a mindset.
See, now you
And
making me feel like I've been going for the cheaper range on guys, and then I messed up. And I need to start back at Macy's
no.
instead of settling for Walmart.
We're talking
And so
about
I'm talking
bigger
about
goals.
I'm
in
talking
life.
about it. Is this the do all be all? Right?
Is that all he gonna make?
Are
Yeah.
are you settled in your mind that this is good enough and that we don't have to do anything
He
else?
is happy with himself,
and he is happy with,
and he is looking for you.
and he is at $40,000. My answer is no.
But he might be a frugal $35,000 maker. Like
don't
he
know.
might be
I don't
saving
know.
half of that.
That's almost below poverty.
Oh, my God.
I just don't.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
just being honest. Now, if we
Real
can
talk.
work and build, it's different.
Different,
If
right.
your mindset is that we can still build and you still and we can walk in purpose and destiny, that's
Yeah.
different.
Right.
But if you stuck, because that money thing could be a mindset. Because I lived it. That's the only reason why I'm saying it. And you think that you're doing something and you really not. And you're happy being in that place. And so, no.
Okay.
It's a firm no.
And
for
so
me.
you, Miss Andrea, I'm gonna ask you again.
Yes, with all that she said, yes, just point out that's it. I'm sorry.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I have shopping issues.
Man,
so,
I gotta
you know.
I gotta do some work on myself because I get way too much sympathy out here in these streets to
As
these
far as
Negroes.
me and myself
All right?
and the choices.
I
you know,
do.
taste,
What-
no.
What about you, Miss Paula P? What you saying over there?
It's a no for me because doggone it, I'm done.
See, y'all supposed to have my back. Don't go to listen.
Listen. I am going on 39 years of marriage as of 7/29 of this month.
Next Friday.
39 years of marriage and been together 46. And it's always room to grow.
Period.
You know, we can start off at the same level.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we want to grow. I don't want to have a mindset just to stay here because that's not who I am.
But my thing is, my husband, he can make $35,000 because I got a catering business. I'm gonna need you to get on the grill. I'm gonna pay you for that. I got a massage therapy business. I need you to set up, and I'm gonna pay you for that.
But I
mean,
said that's if he has the
grinding.
ability
Oh,
to
yeah.
want to do
yeah,
more.
I would do
I'm
that.
just saying, for me, I'm just too old.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah,
I'm
I would.
older now. If I was young in my younger age, I would have said yeah, because there's no
together.
way you're gonna stay that way. But
Right.
I'm just older now. I'm older. I'm in my 50s. I just can't. No.
And you've been through what you've been through. And,
I've been through what
and
I've been
you
through.
know
So
what
the answer's no.
The
It's
level
firm.
of comfort that you need for
No.
your life, and $35,000 ain't it.
I
Okay,
made that at the age of 18, okay?
I'm done. You know what, Miss Paula said? What? She said she made $35,000 at 18. Ken, did you hear her?
I did.
Ken, I feel like you gave us a loaded question,
You
but
did. He's sitting over there quiet. He ain't saying nothing. He just listening and watching.
So I just wanted to share with y'all that came from my game. I created a relationship game.
Yeah. Oh,
And
no,
the reason
I'm
I
getting to
created
that.
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just want to tell you this. I want to talk about the game,
Okay.
but I created it. Why I want to talk about why I created it.
Mm-hmm.
I created it so that people could get to know each other.
Get closer.
So, but they could get to know each other in a fun way.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have to be so serious, and so you can find out how the person really thinks about.
Yes.
If you're making $35,000 a day, ain't gonna be enough. So now you understand it. But that was the reason why I created it, so people could really share their deepest thoughts, their core values, things that mean something to them.
Exactly.
That we just saw that.
Well, listen, I'm going to need to get that game from you. So when I get down to it, I'm going to ask you where we can get that game and anything else you might have, if it's a book or whatever. So, Miss Lydia, what is your answer to the question?
Miss Lydia, what's your answer?
What's your answer?
You know, I'm the young kid.
She the young kid on the block.
I'm the young kid, but I have to piggyback off of the whole we win together, because I don't even want to stay in the particular price range, or I don't want to keep making 35,000. I want to get to 6 figures and 8 figures.
You
So
grow.
and
Right.
so I would want my spouse or my counterpart to do the same. It's all I think it's a mentality thing. Yes, you can affirm me. I appreciate the affirmations, the support, the physical, the mental, the love language, all of that. But it has to go somewhere. For me, it has to go somewhere from just, you can't stay there.
Right.
It's the mentality thing. So I would appreciate it, if we can build together.
Right.
Because, we have a legacy. I'm trying to build a legacy. It's something to leave for our children,
Yes.
our children's children. So I absolutely agree with the mentality. You got to.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that would be totally based on mentality, because
Yes.
you could be certain professions, or if you are an entrepreneur, you could be bringing in more, but by the time you pay taxes and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could level out to be that's the profit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's really that power, that mindset, because I don't know what we gonna do with $40,000.
Man, listen, I got a whole vision.
The car costs $40,000. Like,
man, listen, he gonna be the house. He gonna be the griller. He gonna be, man. We gonna be getting all kind of money. He gonna have a lawn service. He gonna have all kind of stuff. Okay, he gonna have like a Jamaican. He gonna how
many jobs you got?
He gonna have all kind of jobs. Okay. Listen. So my next question, Mr. Ken, is why are we afraid to speak our truth?
That's good.
For 2 reasons. Number one is you feel like a lot of people. I just had this conversation with a guy that I'm coaching right before I got on this call, and I said, and here's what happens. So there's something you believe. The truth is, we are poor communicators. Pretty much everybody's a poor communicator.
That's the point.
And we think we're good. So when I asked the question in my latest seminar, I said, how many of y'all get down? Hold on, let me get my dog down. So, he want to be up here with me, but no. So we're poor communicators. So what happens is we think we communicate well. And I asked him, on the phone, he said, man, my lady, they're about to get married. She should know that I like this, and then he should know that I like that. And I said, here's the thing. And I'm going to tell you, women are the worst at it. Because they think they're good communicators.
Yeah.
Men no, they're not. All right. But what happens is, I said, have you told her? He said, I don't need to tell her. He said, because she should know. I said, well, what do you mean?
Now, see,
And he's mad about it. And he's mad about it because she doesn't know. And I told him, I said, so you're penalizing him. You're penalizing her, for what's in your head, and you've never told her. You never articulated what makes you happy. You never articulated, well, she should know. She's been dating me for 4 years. I said, well, if you never told her, why are you getting angry at her for not being able to read your mind?
Right.
And women do it all the time. Like this particular woman, that's one of my clients, she said she got mad at a guy who didn't help her move. And I said, did you tell him that you were moving that weekend? And she was like, no, he just should know. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're punishing him because he cannot read your mind.
Wow.
And so what happens is people don't speak their truth because a lot of times number one, they don't feel like they'll be accepted when they speak it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't feel like that the other person is going to accept what it is they're about to say. All right. They don't know what kind of opinion the person is going to have about them. The second thing is people don't speak their truth because they want to absolve themselves of responsibility.
Period. Now that's
because if I don't tell you what's on my mind, it's easy for me to get mad at you.
Come on.
But if I tell you what's on my mind, but if I don't tell you, I need to take responsibility for the communication.
Yeah.
And the truth of us is, when you ask couples or people, they say, what's the most important thing in a relationship? People say trust. People say communication right up there. And I say, do you think you're a great communicator? And they'll say, well, sure. And then when I go break down what communication is, and they're like, well, dog, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Maybe I'm not.
And that's why people don't speak their truth.
Well, everybody just want to be accepted, and they're going to tell them little white lies, and they representative and all of that. And, you know, that's the stuff that ruins
They want to be
relationships.
accepted
Yeah,
because
you
they
just
feel
wanna
like
be
if I
accepted.
don't, I mean, think about it. Relationships wouldn't be so hard if we didn't expect them to be so easy.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So listen, what's the number one relationship mistake that leads to divorce?
Whoo, marrying people for potential.
We talked about
Marrying people based on potential. That is the number one. Number
like
one.
he only made $35,000 a year, and he wear high waters all the time, and is cutting all the way. I'm like, but I can take him to the barbershop, and I mean, he has the potential to really have a big business, and I love him. Yeah, nah.
Right.
That ain't
And the
gonna
thing
work.
is, like, what you know what Masheba said. Listen, she said, I don't care if he make $40,000 a year because I got this, and this. And what she's saying is, and I always say, if a person never changes, if nothing ever changes,
Can you stay?
can you accept them for who they are today? Now we're going to evolve. But if he doesn't make over 40, he might have a job where he loves. He work with kids. And they don't get raises like that. And maybe he says, makes me happy. And so if they never change, but people, the number one, I think, thing for divorce is people marry for potential. And when you marry for potential, you're expecting the person to become someone different.
Exactly.
And what happens is when they don't become someone different, your expectations don't
them.
meet your results. And then you begin to resent them for it.
That's it in a nutshell. I need some hand claps on that one because that was good right there.
Yeah.
All right, Ken. Anybody got a question before I go on?
I have a question.
Come on, Miss Paula.
Why do men and women get jealous? So jealous of each other that, some couples might be, tell me something about that. Where does all that jealousy come from?
Crazy.
You mean jealous of your spouse or your partner?
Yes.
Because they don't see themselves as partnership. In partnership, they see themselves as competition.
Yeah.
And so and I see that in a lot of relationships when they're fighting to be better than the other person. And whenever you see yourself in competition, you open the door for emotions like jealousy. See, my wife and I are partners. So when she do good, it's like I'm doing good.
Exactly.
Like my wife is a clean comedian. She's traveling all over the world. I carry the bags. They don't even know that I'm a relationship coach.
Wow.
I got 500,000 followers. They don't know.
Wow.
All they know is that I'm just carrying the bags. I'm just carrying the bags of love. That's my wife. Yeah. Get them.
You carrying the bags while she go get the bag, okay?
Go get that bag.
Go get that bag.
And you know what she do? And as soon as she get it, she's like, "Oh, you can get a check. You can get a payment to my husband."
Please,
And
know
it is
this.
not, and it has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with us. It all go to the same place. She can have anything she wants, and so it's about us being a team. We don't see ourselves as adversaries.
Yeah.
We don't see ourselves as competitors.
Yeah,
we
like-
see ourselves as teammates.
Yeah, you're definitely not on the opposing team. You are definitely on the same team.
Yeah.
My God, that's beautiful.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Miss Andrea.
How does accountability affect a relationship?
Well, that's easy. When one is not accountable and one is, that they are incongruent core values. And so when you are not accountable and the other person is accountable, or the value is that we're accountable in the relationship and you're not living up to the core values, our core values are incongruent. And whenever our core values are incongruent, we can't stay together.
We can't. My God.
That's what accountability is.
That silence is crazy. Y'all hear that silence? Y'all hear that?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Ken, tell me, why do women lose themselves in relationships?
People pleasing, codependency. Many of them are codependent on other people. They need other people for their value. They need other people to validate them because they were never validated.
One more time for the people in the back.
And they're codependent. See, codependency can be toxic too.
It is.
Because You're codependent on a person who won't validate you, and thus you're seeking the validation. And so what happens is when you're not getting something that you missed when you were a child, and when you're not getting something, then you get in a relationship hoping that the person will give you the thing that you seek the most, because your programming, your subconscious programming is so thrown off because you never got it. And then, so now you're depending on the other person to get it. So what do? You people please. You start doing everything. You hope that this will give you the thing that you need. And then we start doing it with our children. We start doing it with coworkers. You start doing everything for that validation that you needed. And now you're codepending on others rather than getting it inside. And see, a lot of people say they love themselves, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people come to me making tons of money, but they don't love themselves. And they don't even realize it until we go deep into their psyche. Then they sit there and cry. These are people making $200,000-$300,000 a year, and they sob like a baby because they realize that the money will never fulfill them.
The money will never make you happy. If you're not happy,
it will never fulfill you.
Never.
Money. I always tell people, money is a tool. Money is a satisfier. And so what you do is, and that's why you see people buying a bigger house. I need a bigger car. I need the newest car. If that's what you want, cool. If you want it for the right reasons, but some people want it for validation. When I see people throwing money up, but throwing money up and stuff like that and making it rain, that is attention seeking.
Yeah.
What that is I need validation.
I need it.
It's no different than the person goes out and buy a $500,000 or $700,000-$800,000 house, and it's just two of y'all.
Wow.
And you got 5-6 bedrooms that you don't use. The spiders, they live in those rooms. The insects that are in the corners live in those rooms.
That's period. So listen, Mr. Ken, I'm getting ready to bring up a song because I need to take a break real quick. This song actually is by an artist. She calls herself Masheba Webb. And the song is called Just For Us, because he did it. He came down and died and gave his life just for you and me. Let's go.
God so world just for us, and whom those that believe shall have everlasting tragedy in this world are common in every place, yeah. But you never really know by the look on their faces. The battle is not yours, but the battle is the Lord's. You've gotta stay in the race to see His face. Oh. to eat, no place to sleep. I had no one to come and help me, but the master of the sea came in, delivered me. That is why I love them so. He came in, cleaned me up, and made me whole. And he'll do it for you. No, I know, he'll do it. He'll do it for you. I know he did it for me. He'll do it for you. I tried. He'll do it for you. Hey, you're looking at a miracle. I tried. He did it for me. I know. I tried him,
That was Masheba Webb with Just For Us. Yeah. Mr. Ken, you there?
I am here.
All right.
I'm here. I'm over here replying to a troll on YouTube. I mean on YouTube.
Okay. So listen, I'm going to give this Cash App out to anybody that's out there and you want to sow into the video ministry, the radio ministry, whatever it is that we're doing here. We're always throwing out all type of shows to help you. But if you would like to sow, it's $ Just For Us Catering. That's $ Just For Us Catering. Miss Andrea, can you tell them what the call-in number is?
Yes, the call-in number is 313-266-2811. Once again, the call-in number is 313-266-2811.
Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, get them ready. I'm going to ask this next question. What do guys want from women? What do they want? Do they want our lives? What do they want? What do guys want?
No.
From women.
Men are fairly simple. They want peace, number one. They want peace in their home.
Okay.
Number two, they want admiration. And see, here's the thing. The number one need for human beings is the need for significance. And that's men or women.
Okay.
But men, what happens is we're just been told, you take care of your family, you do everything. And everybody, y'all, needs to be valued and appreciated for what they do. And not only what they do, but who they are.
Yeah.
All right. And a lot of people just take for granted. Like a lot of people, when they saw that video, a lot of people are like, so what, I got to pat him on the back for everything he does? And I said, it's obvious. It is obvious you come from an unhealed place.
Yeah.
And because many people come from an unhealed place, they don't want anybody else to feel some type of gratitude or anything like that. And so they get that. And that's what men want. And men want, obviously they want support and loyalty for what they do. And so what I'm finding out is many ladies think they're getting it, but they're not. And so it's, and you'd be surprised, you put two people in a room who come to coaching with me. And when I ask certain questions, the other person will look at the other person and say, I didn't know you felt that way. And I would always say yes, because you guys haven't been intimate in years. You've had sex. You might have had sex last night, but you haven't had any intimate. You haven't been intimate in years.
Wow. So let's go here on that. Bounce that off of this. Why a man commits to one woman over another?
You saw that video. That video went crazy. Hey, listen. When I did that video, did you listen to what I said in that video?
I did. I listened to it till it cut me off. I gotta know what.
Oh yeah. It's on
YouTube, right? I can go.
No. They originate on TikTok.
Okay.
So they don't cut you off on TikTok because TikTok gives you 3 minutes. Now it's up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
But
I
YouTube,
was watching yours off Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook only gives you 1 minute, right?
Okay.
But that video wasn't that long, so I think it was like 1 minute and 10 seconds or whatever. And I always tell people, men don't commit to you based on what you do for them. Like a lot of women, and I got to tell you where this came from one time. But a lot of women feels like, okay, I'm gonna take care of his kid. I'm gonna pick up his kids. I'm gonna be a mom to his kids. I'm gonna give him sex. I'm gonna just wrap it up, love it down, flip it over, whatever. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna clean his house. I'm gonna do all of those things.
I'm gonna twerk
And
on
I
the
said,
table.
men don't commit based on what you do for them. Men commit to you based on who you are to them. And that came about. There was a lady who wrote a book. And she wrote this book, and she said her boyfriend lost his job. He moved in with her. She washed his clothes. She did his resume, and because he went into a depressed state, and she did everything for him. She cooked his meals, and then he was just in a funk, and then he moved out like 8 months. He said, "This is just not working for me." Now he moved out 6 months, 4 to 6 months, but 8 to 9 months later, he was dating somebody else. He ended up marrying another lady, and she wrote a book, and she asked the question, "Why did you? What did she have that I didn't?" And he said something, and she said it in a book that was sobering. She said, "You enabled me. She empowered me."
Ooh. Ooh.
All right, come on.
Somebody almost fell 5 stories down, okay? Literally through the glass. I wish you could see. Because, can you repeat that again? Because that was so powerful right there. It's like, we need to stop, just give that a pause, just a moment. Can we pause for the cause for a second? Because, bruh, man, say that one more time, Ken.
Now, and what she said was, she said, I went with her because he simply said, "You enabled me, but she empowered me." And what he was saying was, and let me make it more practical. She said, "I'm not going to do your resume. I will assist you in doing your resume, but you're going to do your resume. I will assist you in finding a job. I will take it, but you're going to have to get off your butt and you got to go do it."
Exactly.
And all of that, but what she did do was she shared with him, "I believe in you. I do believe in you.
Yes.
I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. But the truth of the matter is, I can't do this work for you. I can't do it for you, and you have to." And that right there, that brought me to a whole new revelation about why men commit. And this was years ago, but I found it's true. It was why I committed to my wife at the time that I did.
Wow.
It was who she was to me.
Yes.
And I didn't want to lose that.
So is it always, I mean, maybe not always, but who she is to you is why you love her. Okay. And so does it, I don't know. I'm gonna come back to that. I got to think about that before I actually ask that question, but
so a lot of people when I put up my videos, I'm a polarizing kind of guy. So I got to tell y'all this.
Right.
So there is not much that gets under my skin, but there is one thing. So so since we're on the show, let me be honest. Since she started it all, people, I've been doing this work for a long time, and people are just now seeing it because of my team. I have a young team, and they were like, "Ken, you need to get to the masses." So in February of this year, I faced some fears, and I decided that I was going to go all in on what I do on social media. And so I turned on April 1st, 2020. I turned my camera on, and I just started doing what I've been doing, just talking, just spitting game and telling the truth. And now that I got all these people who know about me, but the one thing that gets on my nerves, that irks the blank out of me, is when they say, "You trying to be like Kevin Samuels." Wow. So, and the first thing that I say is, truth is, I've been doing this longer than him. Now right. he had a platform, but the second thing is, I put relationships together. I don't tear them apart.
Period.
And I say, I put them together. I don't tear them apart. And when they say that, whenever I say that, they don't come back. But my wife told me, she says, stop it. Just stop that. She said, because I love a good debate. That's the one thing that get on my nerves, because a lot of what he said was true. Let's don't get it twisted. If you listen to what he said, but here's where the problem was. The problem is his intent. See, you can tell someone that they need to work on themselves without dehumanizing them.
Exactly.
Without making them feel like they're less of a person. That's where I had the problem with what he was saying.
Yeah.
And, and for me, I don't really bring up anybody else. They always say things like you like Derek Jackson, you like Kevin Samuels, you want to be like that. I said, no, I'm me. I said, listen, the truth is I'm nothing like them. If you watch my videos and watch what I do, I know what I'm talking about. And the other thing is this right here. The difference between me and them, I got a 20-year marriage that I ain't cheat.
Period.
The other thing is, I said, listen, my integrity is never in question. I put my wife in my videos. I'm not out here doing that.
Yeah.
So let's do that part right there. Let's start there.
Let's start there. So
let's start there. Let's start saying I have that which people seek. I have a great relationship. I got a side chick. I got a girlfriend and a wife.
She's the same woman.
All in one person.
Let that be the reason. So listen, I'm going to pose one question and I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to end up in the question with you. I want your answer last, Ken. So Miss Lydia Campbell, how can you tell if a man is still in love with you?
I think it's the interest, continuing to want to get to know me past if we've been on a physical level or not, and just want to be hanging around me.
Right.
I like somebody who just want to hang around me. Okay. Not all the time, because I do honor space. Because everybody needs their space at one point. But just be consistent. That's a thing for me. If you're consistent with trying to get to know me, not on a physical level, but a mental level,
gotcha,
spiritual level. So
gotcha.
That's what I look for.
Okay. What about you, Miss Paula?
Just showing interest in what I'm doing and encouraging and spending time together and talking and not talking about things that we don't want to talk about, just addressing issues that we can that arise in a manner that it's not always the way I see it, and it's not always the way you see it.
Right.
We both have opinions.
Right.
Because we both came from different places.
We're gonna stay on the question. So how can you tell if he's still in love with you?
By all the things that
he does.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, what about same question, Miss Andrea?
Can you say the question one more time?
How can you tell that a man is still in love with you?
I would say, I don't know.
Okay, Miss Barbara.
Can you come back?
Miss Barbara, how can you tell that a man is in love with you?
I believe love is an action word.
Thank you.
So I will see it.
Okay.
It's going to require some action. And so you say still, meaning that something must have transpired to make it feel or seem as though it's not, or that you have felt that it wasn't there. So I would say it would be actions, not just by your verbiage.
Okay, I'll accept that. Well, I'm going to ask Mr. Wisdom. He doesn't. Would you move over to the microphone and be so kind as to shed your light as the first man? How can you tell? How can a woman tell if her man is in love with her still?
Number one,
he adore and admire the worship the ground she walks on. Like he makes sure she's okay at all times and always checking on her, not just texting her, calling her, hearing her voice, and just making sure she's okay if there's anything that she needs,
right?
Not just something physical, but
being of service, being right there, right hand. Okay, all right. So, Mr. Ken, how can a woman tell if a man is still in love with her?
I think
Mr.
I think
Ken?
the word.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you
We
hear
can
me?
hear you now. We got you now.
I think the word, first of all, we need to understand what the word love is. Love is not about an emotion. It's not about, so let me break this down. Why people think they're in love. They use the word in love because all in love is a hormone cocktail that is released in your brain. That is when you have dopamine, you have the feel good hormone, you have the oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical, and then you have the serotonin and what they call opiates. When this cocktail is released in your brain, that's why you have the feeling like you're in love. You feel all giddy and you inside, and then you want to go through the honeymoon stage. Okay, so let me start there. That's not what love is. Love is a commitment to someone, regardless if I feel those hormones or not. So how do I know the person still loves me? So I'm gonna come from that premise.
Yes.
How do I know the person still loves me? Is number one, they are still willing to be intimate with me and sharing their fears, their thoughts, their emotions. Okay. And when they're willing to be still intimately, they're willing to be vulnerable with me. See, my wife knows things about me that nobody else knows. She could hurt me in ways that, and I always tell people, you know how you love a man still love you? Is he exposes himself to be hurt.
Yeah.
All right. And that's how you know. And then the second thing is he makes you a priority and not an option.
See.
And when you become a priority and not an option, that means that whatever, it doesn't mean that he always gives you your way. It don't mean that. It means that his world is consumed with whatever the thoughts, every decision he makes, you're a part of that decision, be it in his mind or whatever he does.
Yes.
And whenever you see that, whenever you see a man doing those things, then obviously he respects and admires the woman, not what you do, because what you do is great, but he admires who you are.
Yes, that's beautiful.
That
That is
man loves you.
beautiful. Now listen, Ken, should we focus on the relationship or should we focus on the connection?
You must have the time on your
Let's
hands.
go.
All right. See, most people focus on the relationship. We're gonna make the relationship better. No, I say, listen, let's focus on the connection. Because when you focus on the connection is the emotional piece or the emotional bridge that brings our core values together.
It's the
And so when you negate the connection involves core values, beliefs, all of the things that I've been talking about, y'all. We get so caught up because the coochie good or the thing good and all of that, and then we never get to know the person. We never get to connect with the core values. And so now, when all that other stuff gone, when it don't work like it used to work, and when all this this and that gone, so now you realize those were the things that kept us together. There was no true connection.
That's it.
It's
right
the little
there.
things.
Right.
So listen, we got like 12, 13, about 12 minutes, Mr. Ken. And I want to get to this question right here. This is a good juice. It's got a lot of juice in it, Mr. Ken. It's got a lot of juice in it, okay?
Got a lot of juice in it.
A lot of juice. Why should a woman date why should a woman, okay, I watched the video. Why should a woman date more than one man, sir?
Okay, before I answer that question, can I ask everybody in the studio, on the panel, all of us, what is your opinion on that? A woman dating multiple guys.
Now we're gonna start with you, Barbara Bankston.
Nothing wrong with it.
Don't mess with her.
It is so tough because I'm dating now, right?
Okay.
And so it is tough. I think that it just is going to determine what you call dating.
Exactly.
It's really going to determine what you call dating. So back when I was young, when you're dating, you don't date multiple people, right? You're really talking and you're getting to know the one person. And so, but that's not the current thought process.
We're
of
talking
what-
about dating, the act of collecting information,
So we're
getting
wanna-
to know.
Well,
Right.
I feel like if you're just going to collect data,
Yeah.
then collect data from more than one person.
Okay, so what would be the difference? Because you know she's the different one on the panel. Like she's gonna challenge everything we say. So I want to challenge that right now because I hear exactly where she's going. But I asked the question. You heard what the question was. So with regards to her answer, what would you say, Mr. Ken?
So when I did that video, it was it created a lot of ruckus. It created a lot of dissension, if you will, unrest in people's emotional soul. Because I said that people should never date women should never date just one guy until the guy says we're committed. Here's why.
Right.
But first of all, let me define what I like what Barbara said. When you define dating as collecting data, I created this system in dating, and I call it the 2C methodology. First you collect, then you connect. And collecting is the process of collecting data to find out if I should connect with the person. Because everybody that you collect data on, you should not connect with.
Exactly.
And but that when you do it the way
That's
that I
good
teach
stuff.
people to do it, it negates your emotions.
Yes.
And so when it negates your emotions, now you can make a more informed decision. And some women gave me backlash. Like I said, the only reason you gave me backlash because you've been taught that you date one person because they told us you date to marry. But when you do it that way, they only said that because they didn't want you sleeping around with all of them.
Right.
And so I tell people, when you date, take sex off the table. And I talk to women.
Let it
That's
sit.
it.
I said, if you take sex off the table, you can collect data more accurately. Because as soon as you put sex on the table, the hormones get released. Now it clouds your judgment.
Mixed emotions, sir. Mixed
A total
emotions.
blur.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I can date 3 or 4 of them if I'm not having sex with them.
Got you.
And
That's
then I
it.
can collect data. I can see the
Yes.
ones who want to hang around because I'm not doing it.
Yes.
But what happens, women get pressured into, there are 3 types of connections. There's the physical connection, the mental, and emotional, right? So what women do is they feel like they want the emotional connection, but the man ain't giving you that. He's not giving you that at first. Because I want to make sure that before he gives you that, before I be vulnerable. So he said the man wants the physical. We've been wired. God did this, not us.
He did it.
Testosterone
He did it.
makes us want sex.
I
So
don't
don't
I don't know
trip.
why he did it. He could have kept.
You don't know
a lot
why?
of that.
Well, he did it so we could procreate.
Yeah.
He did it so we can procreate.
Yeah.
And so what happens is the women say, okay, I'm going to give you the physical connection and you'll give me the emotional connection, I hope. And it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
That's not the way men work.
Not
And so
at
what I tell my people, let's focus on the mental connection because that's something both people can give. And the mental connection is nothing more than how do you believe? What do you believe? What do you think about the world? How do you see the world? Let's have those conversations. And then I can get to know whether or not I should connect with you because I'm collecting data.
I'm
And
watching.
that's the difference. That's the difference.
So listen,
Exactly.
we are 5 minutes down. We got 5 minutes, sir. I thank you so much. I feel like I found a friend forever, and I can't
Yes.
wait to meet you and your beautiful wife. I can't wait. Thank you so much for being kind and coming on the show. And you didn't even know me, but I thank you that you graced us with your. Just everything that you brought to the table today. I was trying to think of how I should do the show, and I always talk to God about my shows, and so it was like just ask him his questions, let him school the people, and so that's what I did, and it's just beautiful. Thank you again, Mr. Ken. First of all, I want to say, is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there? You have the floor, sir.
I just
And
want to
listen,
say,
before you say
Yes.
that, I'm going to interject this question. I want you to answer the question and go into your closing remarks. What is
Okay.
keeping us from having the relationship that we want, sir?
wow, it could be a number of things, but I think when I really look at it, I think what's keeping people from having the relationships that they truly want
Truly.
is most of us want the relationship without the work.
Come on.
We want the relationships without the investment.
That's it.
And like you have businesses, and you just said it, and these businesses are growing, but you put in the work.
I am.
You put in the work to learn, to be better at what you're doing at your craft.
Yes.
And because people aren't willing to be better, think about it, y'all. We've never been trained how to communicate in a relationship.
No.
So why do we expect communication to just come naturally?
Yeah.
And we've never been trained how to resolve conflict. We've never been trained. And because we've never been trained, why do we expect that it just will work?
Yeah.
And with that in mind, I will say people just aren't willing to put in the work.
Not
And,
willing to put in
that's
the work.
what I would say. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you again.
Oh, hold on 1 second though.
Okay.
I got I got time.
You do. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to tell y'all about my game real quick.
Okay. Yes, please do. Please do. He has.
So my wife and I, a couple years ago, my wife says I'm the what if king.
Okay.
We started doing this work. We did this thing called Pillow Talk.
Okay.
And I would ask a question of the day. And then she said one night, she was like, well, why don't you just turn it into a game? You're always asking these questions. I was like, okay. So the next day I started. And then I created the Moment of Truth card game. Y'all, it is so good.
It's dope,
and it's a way that it helps people get to know each other. And this one, we sold thousands of these. And then, so I created a lot of us doing the nasty with the wrong people and the wrong way. So I created the sex version of the same game.
Wow.
And,
Right way.
I want both of them. Okay, I need both of them.
I want to do it the right way.
We knew 2 and 2. Now we need 4. Okay. Anybody else? I start an auction.
Yes.
25, 35, 40. What somebody need?
Before we end?
Huh?
I have one question before we
Okay, come
Really
on,
real quick.
sweetheart. We have 2 minutes left.
You can make it short. Just how do you know if a person is the one for you?
I just think a person, one for you, is based on core value. Your core values are in alignment. And your core values are the things that you live by. It's your belief, your deep core beliefs. When those line up, it's not that you don't have arguments or things like that. I venture to say that you need to have an argument to see how you guys work through conflict.
Yeah.
But when your core values line up, when they line up and the man says this, when he says, listen to me carefully, he says, you make me want to be a better version of myself.
Yeah. Oh my God. And see, Webb told me that. He said, you gave me back my life. He stated that one time. And that's what I hold on to now. I hold on to that now. That's why I can't go to the movies by myself. That's why I can't go out to eat by myself. That's why I can't grind on 3 and 4 jobs. That's why I do what I do, because I'm holding on to that. I want every day I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. I hope to be better today than I was yesterday. Right. And it's all about, with love, he's right. Love is a commitment, okay? When you wake up and you don't even like the person you next to, commitment should keep you there. Thank you so much, Mr. Ken Canyon. It is not the last time I'm going to have you on the show. I love you so much. Tell your beautiful wife I said hello, but I have one question, Mr. Ken. Has the Lord been good to you?
Super, better than I deserve, probably, because he's been so good to me.
Miss Barbara, what about you?
And
hold on, Ken. What about you?
He's been really good.
What about you, Miss Andrea?
He's been real good.
What about you, Miss Paula?
He's always good.
What about you, Miss Lydia?
He's been better than good to me.
All right. Now listen, what about you, Mr. Wisdom?
Yeah.
Listen. He's been real good. Hey, let's go. Bye, Mr. Ken. Call you later. Goodbye.
The Lord woke me this morning, started me on my way, put food on my table.